Welcome into another victory edition of Browns Live for your 9-3 Cleveland Browns. Nathan Zegura alongside Browns legend Joe Thomas. And Joe, you got to be riding high. The Browns put on a show in Tennessee. 9-3, brother.
Playoff atmosphere, and the Browns come out and give their best performance of the season. Makes even the most grizzled and cynical Browns fan go like this in celebration.
Bravo to you. What a celebration. And boy, the Browns did earn it. And we have got a great show for you tonight. Myles Garrett is mic'd up. Kendall Lamm, who had the big man touchdown, he's in the player spotlight. We have the film breakdown of Sheldon Richardson's huge fourth down stop and the DPJ out and up touchdown. And also, we have the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, and we welcome him in right now for this week's game review presented by Serpentini Chevrolet. And Coach, first of all, congratulations. I have to tell you, in my 8 years in this organization, I have never seen a first half of football like we witnessed in Tennessee. It was a big, big statement leading to a big, big win. Congrats to you and the team.
Thanks, Nathan. It was, those are great wins to get on the road, like you mentioned. But I think it just speaks to the guys really prepared for that week. They prepared for that game. They were ready to go. And there's just something to be said for when they can play fast and when we do a good job of getting out of their way, they can really perform.
Coach, what's your Monday morning strategy when you're in that team meeting room to keep the team level-headed after such an emotional and monumental win against the Titans that took you guys to 9-3 and squarely in the middle of that playoff race?
Yeah, I think what we try to do, Joe, is learn from all these games, learn from a win, learn from a loss if you have to, and really put the focus there. There's so much football for us to cover. There's so much that goes into these weeks. We give these guys an incredible amount of information. So really those Mondays are for pouring the bucket of information back out and then just getting ready for the next one.
Coach, offensively in that first half, you had absolutely everything going. Baker Mayfield was sensational. I think a lot of people thought number one rush offense versus number two, they're just going to line up and run it. And you said, we're going to come out and sling the ball around the yard. What did you think of the performance that you saw from your guys executing your game plan?
Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, you mentioned Baker. He was ready to go. He was locked in on what we were doing, made some unbelievable plays with his arm. Made some plays with his feet, and then just to see, again, the guys executing at a high level, I think speaks to the preparation they put into it. We've run so many plays this season, and those type of things you rep for many, many weeks, and then you finally get them called, and the guys came through. it does show you that the players can take these game plans, can understand what we want them to do, and really perform at a high level because they've worked so hard on them. That's a rewarding part of this for me as a coach.
You guys were pretty aggressive, especially early on in the game on those traditional running downs, those first downs. For a team that loves to run the football, how do you think that's going to change how defenses play your offense moving forward after this past weekend?
Yeah, Joe, I just think it speaks to we're looking for balance. We don't want the defense to try to make us one-dimensional. We don't want them to say we're going to make them do X or we're going to make them do Y. We want them to have to defend both the run and the pass. And I think we are getting better in both areas. I think there's room to grow. But the other thing it speaks to is we're just going to do whatever it takes in that particular game to score points and to win that game. And when we felt like that was what called for last week, and we'll see if that's the same thing this week.
Coach, congratulations again on the victory. We look forward to having you on later in the show to discuss the Monday Night Football showdown with the Baltimore Ravens. But don't you go anywhere, because when Browns Live returns, powered by FirstEnergy, Myles Garrett is mic'd up for your listening pleasure. That's next.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
For as long as I can remember, I watched the sun rise and I've watched the sun set, fueling my drive, feeding the fire within. Embrace it, harness it.
It's time to let the sun fuel your life. It's time to own your power.
Get your ice cold Bud Light. Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light.
Time to start it up, America. You've got a lot of joy to make. So we're kicking off the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, because you've got turkeys to fry and thanks to give. It's our thing. To help you do it right, we're giving you 90 days payment deferment and $1,000 trade assist cash on the built Ford Tough F-150 and Ford Ranger. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. That'll make a lot of joy this holiday. Ford, built for the holidays.
The world has changed, but some facts remain. Every 40 seconds, someone has a heart attack. And every hour, over 700 people suffer a broken bone. While those numbers haven't changed, there are fewer people seeking the treatment they need. If you're injured, sick, or in pain, it's safe to get the care you need at university hospitals. Protecting your health with science and compassion. That's UH Safe.
Welcome back into another victory edition of Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside Joe Thomas. And the game against the Tennessee Titans saw the return of Myles Garrett. And Garrett had been on a Defensive Player of the Year pace before missing the last couple of games on the COVID reserve list. But boy, his impact was felt. Not only did he get a sack in this game, not only did he disrupt what the Titans wanted to do offensively with Derrick Henry, he also was a part of some of the most egregious no calls and, dare I say, the history of the NFL. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from Myles himself, because he was mic'd up this week, presented by Ruoff Mortgage.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is December, and down the stretch we come. Today from Nashville, Tennessee, and Nissan Stadium, it's the 8-3 Cleveland Browns against the 8-3 Tennessee Titans.
Any way you slice it, we back in the building. We back in the building. We back in the building. Let's go. It's time to turn it up. I love it. Browns on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Steven Gostkowski will kick it off.
I'm trying to smash him. I mean, angle it and then go up or just right at him?
Right up.
Right up.
Go get the quarterback.
Got it. No, Ryan, don't do that. How you doing?
And the Titans are going to go for it. At the Browns 42, they need the 41-yard line.
Don't try to go for this.
We wait, he takes, he gives. Henry got hit, but he leans forward.
Step back, guys. Step back. Y'all ain't got this. Come on.
On a 4th and 1.
Hold on.
Derrick Henry did not get
it. Hold on. No let up, D. No let up, D.
They give the ball to Henry. He fumbled the ball, and the Browns have it. Carl Joseph's got it.
That's what I'm talking about, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Your time coming. Relax. Hey, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job.
He's got the snap. Back to pass. Myles Garrett's got him, and he sacks him down. Myles Garrett came blowing around that corner, Doug, and Tannehill just couldn't move. He was paralyzed as he just couldn't get out of there.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm taking you out. We're about to get our 9th win, and I don't want anything to happen to you, okay? I want you to rest and celebrate this win with your teammates.
You too, baby.
I wasted a lot of time this week watching film on you. I was hoping to get you a little bit.
Man, I was too tired to even go on that side.
A little bit of complaining there from a Tennessee lineman saying, I got to watch all this film, but then didn't get to go against you, Joe. I'm sure he is the beneficiary in this situation that he didn't have to get embarrassed by Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was really believing what he was saying when he did say that, because I don't care who you are as an offensive lineman, you do not want to see Myles Garrett line up across from you on a Sunday.
Myles absolutely energizes the Browns defense, and the Browns fans energize the Browns. Our best fan energy winner this week is LaShawn. LaShawn tweeted at the Browns using the hashtag #BestFanEnergy to tell us why she has the best fan energy. And because of that, she will be in the stadium for an upcoming Browns game. When we return, we'll hear from Browns offensive lineman Kendall Lamm talking about his touchdown against the Titans, and we'll go into the film room to see the genius of the Browns on defense and offense in the big win over Tennessee.
Time to make your disappointing breakfast your X-Fist, because Wendy's has your new breakfast love. With a fresh cracked egg on every sandwich and crispy oven-baked bacon, you'll be telling everybody about the new breakfast you're seeing at Wendy's. Hurry in for the breakfast of your dreams today.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light. In 2013, we turned the lights on to FirstEnergy Stadium. Together, we've seen good energy come from powerful runs.
Touchdown, Nick Chubb! He's done it again!
Witnessed electrifying sacks.
Myles Garrett got him!
But the best energy comes from Cleveland Browns fans who truly light up our communities. From our home to your home, no matter where you watch the game, we'll be there bringing good energy to power the best fans in Northeast Ohio.
Our students don't just read books or write papers. They forge new paths and new ideas. At LECOM, we build medical professionals who excel. We create the foundation of a better world. We seek new ways to aid others. We lead the next generation. We guide the future of medicine. At LECOM, we make doctors.
Our roster is deep. Our will is strong. We have never been more together as a team, a club, and as a community. This isn't just another playoff appearance. The crew is here to win. We got here by standing together. We defend together. We score together. We win together. We rise together.
Time to make your disappointing breakfast your X-Fist. Because Wendy's has your new breakfast love. With a fresh cracked egg on every sandwich and crispy oven-baked bacon, you'll be telling everybody about the new breakfast you're seeing at Wendy's. Hurry in for the breakfast of your dreams today.
Welcome back into Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside the illustrious Joe Thomas. And Joe, what a first half offensive performance we saw in Tennessee. 38 points from the Browns. Baker Mayfield, 4 passing touchdowns, one of them to a tackle who was eligible, Kendall Lamm. Joe, the question is, though, why did you never get a touchdown in your career? You did everything else a left tackle could possibly do, but you never got a play called for you. Sad.
Well, I'm kind of glad I never had that pressure because I would have crumbled under that pressure for sure. But the other reason is because my hands are always taped like Ninja Turtles, and the ability to catch a football was just about zero. I could barely pick up a fumble in that situation with my hands like a Ninja Turtle. So I'm glad that Kendall Lamm did it, but I'm also glad that my number never got called in the end zone.
Well, let me tell you something. I have nothing but the utmost confidence and faith that you would have come through had your number ever been called, just like Kendall Lamm did in Tennessee. And speaking of Kendall Lamm, he sits down with our Andrew Gribble in this week's Player Spotlight presented by Electronic Merchant Systems.
All right, we're joined now by Browns offensive tackle Kendall Lamm. And Kendall, the big play Sunday against Tennessee, everyone is still talking about it. Tell me how it felt to get in the end zone and catch a pass as an offensive lineman.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Words can't really describe it. I'll take you through the sequence of events. You know, we had been going through it in practice, and I've been on, previously I played for the Houston Texans, and we did something like this before, but we never called it in the game. So, of course, going through practice, I told him, as long as you throw it to me, I'll catch it. So when it was actually called on the goal line, I mean, I'm not going to lie, a little bit of butterflies came in there. We had a little break before the play was called because we were switching quarters, of course, switching end zones. And I told Baker, nobody will know this, but I told him, I'm not scared to share it. I was like, please, if whatever you do, if you can, give me a friendly ball. The rest is history.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about how great this offensive line has been, but a big contributing factor has been kind of the depth that you guys have shown with you getting in the game, Hubbard getting in the game as well. I mean, how deep is this group, and how much has that been a contributor to the success?
So when it comes to just speaking on me and Hub and everybody else, we just want to do our part. The 5 are going to go out there on Sunday, regardless of who it is. But all of us in our room, if we get the opportunity, we prepare. I mean, Hub's in year 7, I'm in year 6. We've got guys in our room who've been through the fire and been able to do, various things in our careers. So we just want to try to contribute and help get the W as we can.
And looking ahead to Monday night, you've been here for a couple of years and just entering December and playing these meaningful football games. What's it like?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. And, of course, I'm excited for people on our team, like Joel, who, of course, played in good big-time games when he was younger, but hasn't experienced it in a while. I've told Coach Callahan when he first got here, he asked me, what do you want for our room? And I told him I want guys like Joel and other people to understand and to feel those feelings. Because, of course, I got to taste it when I was in Houston. And it's nothing like playing meaningful games in December. When you put yourself in that position, every little snap, every little play means everything. So to have these things about to come to Cleveland, it's very exciting.
Well, Kendall, thank you so much, and good luck Monday night against the Ravens.
Appreciate you, brother. Take care.
Well, there is no doubt it was a beautiful play design that led to Kendall Lamm's touchdown. We don't have time to show it to you because we had so many big plays to break down for you in this week's Play Breakdown presented by Microsoft Surface. And we're going to start with the stuff of Derrick Henry on 4th and 1 on the Titans opening drive. And you see the Titans, they come out here in a shotgun formation on 4th and 1. But you'll also notice that the Browns have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down linemen on the field. That eliminates the opportunity for a double team blocks. It puts them in man-to-man situations. And Joe, from this formation, the run can really only go one of two ways. Either it's a toss out to the right, or he's got to give him that inside handoff right into the middle of the defense. And somebody just has to win their one-on-one. And that's what Sheldon Richardson did.
Yeah, when you put defensive linemen over every single offensive linemen. Like you mentioned, it puts all those offensive linemen in one-on-one blocks. It eliminates their double teams, and it puts them in a little bit of a bind because if they shoot off really hard and they put their shoulder pads down, defensive linemen have the ability to go any direction they want. And when you don't have that double team, you don't have that comfort of that other blocker coming in and being able to pick up that gap if the defensive lineman takes one of those other gaps that you're not expecting him to. And in this case, Sheldon Richardson takes a little bit of a calculated risk here. He initially shoves down the line of scrimmage and bull rushes into that offensive guard. And then at the last moment, he feels that offensive guard leaning a little bit. He notices that he doesn't have that double team. And what does he do? He's able to shed and give a little bit of a mini swim move to the outside on that blocker. But he knows that as a great athlete, he's going to be able to get back into the gap that he avoided and get Derrick Henry down for the huge loss. This was an enormous point in this game.
That's right. Sheldon Richardson, absolutely massive in this game. He had this stop, and on the Titans' very next possession, he forced a fumble from Derrick Henry that the Browns capitalized, and all of a sudden, it was 17-0 Browns. Now, the Browns offense, they had a banner first half, as we talked about. But sometimes you just have to tip your cap. There is genius on display here, Joe, because Kevin Stefanski schemes up a play and a formation and a series of shifts, the window dressing, as you call it, that allows him to move the safety that was at the top of the field initially on the side that Donovan Peoples-Jones motions to, brings him into the box, and now there's nobody deep, and it's up to Donovan Peoples-Jones to win his one-on-one route. This is genius.
This is great stuff. And here with Donovan Peoples-Jones, he does an outstanding job running this route. And it's all about the head. Watch Donovan Peoples-Jones's head to be able to sell the out route. As he gets up and he makes his break to the sideline, he's going to start turning to the sideline and take a couple steps. He's going to quickly and briefly look back right there at the quarterback. And what that does is that sells the defensive back that he's looking back for the football. It forces the defensive back to bite and jump the ball as if the ball is coming out right now from Baker Mayfield. And then once Donovan Peoples-Jones turns his shoulders up the field, there is few players faster than him in the NFL, and there is no chance for that cornerback to be able to recover. Great throw by Baker Mayfield to hit him in stride and allowed Donovan Peoples-Jones to get into the end zone. But I do have one little beef here. When he gets into the end zone, I got to know what type of celebration he is doing. There is a little bit of room for improvement, even though this offense was nearly perfect in this game.
Well, he knows you can't match the red carpet celebration of Hollywood Higgins with Bates sliding in and one of the all-time great NFL touchdown celebrations. So maybe he just went old school. Act like you've been there before, hand the ball over to the referee, and get on about your day. After all, it is his second touchdown on the season. Don't you go anywhere, because when Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, returns, the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, joins us to talk about the Monday Night Football primetime showdown with the Baltimore Ravens.
Even thinking about next year, it's going to be unbelievable.
That we're building a brand new stadium downtown is so exciting.
I'm ready to walk down there in 21 and see it come to life, like a dream that I just never thought would actually happen in my lifetime.
I'm excited for teams to come in and hear the fans, and they're going to be shocked and they're not going to know what hit them.
We need to bring our A game and make great memories together.
Once it's all said and done, we're an atmosphere that's literally talked about across the world.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light. In 2013, we turned the lights on to FirstEnergy Stadium. Together, we've seen good energy come from powerful runs.
Touchdown, Nick Chubb! He's done it again!
witnessed electrifying sacks.
Myles Garrett got him!
But the best energy comes from Cleveland Browns fans who truly light up our communities. From our home to your home, no matter where you watch the game, we'll be there bringing good energy to power the best fans in Northeast Ohio.
The world has changed, but some facts remain. Every 40 seconds, someone has a heart attack. And every hour, over 700 people suffer a broken bone. While those numbers haven't changed, there are fewer people seeking the treatment they need. If you're injured, sick, or in pain, it's safe to get the care you need at university hospitals. Protecting your health with science and compassion. That's UH Safe.
Welcome back into Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside the legend Joe Thomas, and we welcome back in the head coach of your Cleveland Browns for this week's game preview presented by Ruoff Mortgage. And Coach, I'm going to start with, I think, a very good fan question, our best fan question powered by FirstEnergy from Reddit user Cleveland14. He says, does anything feel different in the building when you're leading up to a prime-time rivalry game like you are this Monday against the Ravens?
It really doesn't, and that's on purpose. We make sure that we dive into our preparations, and even so much so that the first day that we start work is Wednesday. And even though the calendar may say today is Thursday, to me it's Wednesday. And that's how it has to feel. And the guys know what Thursday feels like and so on. So regardless of the size of the game, we want to make sure that we stay into our routine.
Ravens have the #1 rushing attack in the NFL. What's the key to slowing down Lamar Jackson in this Ravens ground game?
Yeah, it's not easy, Joe. I think you have to play sound defense. It's a rules game. You got to trust your reads and keys. And then you have to tackle. It's something that we talked a lot about last week, facing another great rush attack that was very different than this one. But you have to have 11 guys around the ball. You have to gang tackle. And it's way easier said than done. But having 11 guys around the ball gives you a better chance of getting that ball carrier down.
What's the biggest difference in your football team from the team? I mean, it seems like 5 years ago, you guys went to Baltimore and played that game, to the team that you guys are today.
I think we're learning about each other. I would tell you, I would guess the players are more comfortable with me and what we are asking them to do. I'm certainly trying to make sure we're running schemes on offense, defense, and special teams that match our players' skill set. And I think that comes from games and being around each other and learning what guys are comfortable with. So that's the natural evolution of an NFL season. For us, going all the way back to week 1 is really hard. It's because there's so much that changes. There's so much nuance. There's so many wrinkles that you pick up along the way.
Coach, we know you will have the guys ready to play. That has been a hallmark of your teams, and I think they will be ready to step up to the challenge on Monday Night Football in prime time. Best of luck against the Ravens, and thanks so much for your time today here on Browns Live.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, it's time now for one of my favorite segments of the show each and every week, a little ditty I like to call Joe's Final Thoughts.
The last time the Browns played the Ravens, they turned in their worst outing of the year and losing 38-6. Every player wearing an orange helmet is going to have some corner of their mind with those thoughts leading up to this game on Monday night at FirstEnergy Stadium. But this is a Browns team who is very different from the one that opened the season in Baltimore. We know it, the Ravens know it, and the players know it. So going out and overcoming that memory early in Monday's game will be a little bit of a challenging part, but I think we got just the right team for the job. It's like the old idiom of getting back on the horse that bucked you off. Shaking the memory of the loss in the Baltimore game won't be easy, but the good news for Browns fans is that this Browns team is a bunch of hard-nosed, tough guy Cowboys. And on Monday night, they're not just going to get back on the horse that bucked them off. They're going to jump on its back and wrestle it to the ground until it screams uncle, once and for all. And you know what that horsey's name is? That horsey's name is Raven, with a lowercase r.
As always, Joe, you got me ready to run through a wall. I love it. Browns, Ravens. This is a big one indeed. Before we sign off here on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, we wanted to take a moment to recognize a frontline worker who has made a tremendous impact in their community during the pandemic. Each game during the regular season, the Browns will honor this individual prior to kickoff as parts of our Hats Off to Our Heroes program. This week's hero is Nick Frank, a registered nurse at University Hospitals. When the pandemic began, Nick not only had to deal with COVID-19 at work, but also at home when his 1.5-year-old tested positive for the virus. After his recovery, his wife started showing symptoms, and Nick stayed home to take care of the household while his wife recovered. Nick not only helped his family through COVID, but numerous others as well. Nick, from all of us at the Browns, we thank you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to another victory edition of Browns Live. Don't forget, this Sunday at 11 a.m. on News 5, Browns Countdown will get you ready for the Monday Nighter against the Ravens. And also this Saturday night at 8:30, you see me rocking it here, the Columbus Crew. That's right, we need to support our Crew family. They are hosting the Seattle Sounders as they look to win their second MLS Cup in franchise history. This is the Super Bowl of Major League Soccer, and the Crew are hosting it. So tune in Saturday night, 8:30. You find it, you be there, you support the Crew family, because the HSG is looking to collect titles in 2020. For Joe Thomas, for our great production staff, I am Nathan Zegura saying thank you to the best fans in the NFL for watching another edition of Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. And let's go Crew, and let's go Browns.